Go upstairs for a question, and then we'll come back down. Go ahead, press box.
Hey, Michael Phillips here with the Richmond Times-Dispatch. Kyle, you mentioned Jeff may be taking different tactics on the restarts there. What kind of gamesmanship was going on those restarts?
Well, one of the restarts there, I think when I got tires or something like that, he really slowed the field down a lot. And, I mean, I was almost bogging second gear. And then he took off. You know, he took off in the zone, which is fine. But he didn't keep pace of the pace car, I felt like. And then on the next restart, when the pace car left, he picked up the pace of the pace car and went to the start line faster. So I just felt like there was some games being played there. And from what I'm told, you're supposed to keep the pace with the pace car until you get to the zone, and then find your place in the zone where you want to take off and go. So I was just trying to keep a consistent pace. That's all.
Come back downstairs. Go ahead, Mike.
Mike Hembry, SpeedTV.com. Dave, so many different things are happening at the end of races now, and so many other things could happen with the green, white checkers and so forth. Can you sit down at the shop on Tuesday and Wednesday and kind of map out your responses to a lot of these, or are you still running races on the fly with 10, 20 laps to go?
Yeah, I'm not the type of guy that shoots from the hip every day. Like Kyle said, I'm probably more methodical. So we spent a lot of time at the shop and on race day morning working through every scenario. The problem you run into with these late race restarts is there's so many cars on the lead lap. You know, you're at Phoenix and there's 25 cars on the lead lap. You know, you can have the best car, but it's going to come down to chance. You know, we weren't going to pit at Phoenix, to be honest with you. We were going to stay out. We started scanning everybody, and you heard that the entire field was going to pit. We thought it was crazy. But before the race, we said, okay, if we ever hit pit road, we're going to take 4. 2 tires is a waste of time. We saw it in the nationwide race. If we come down pit road, it's 4 and 4 only. So we talk about it, and we have a game plan long before the race ever starts. But you do have to adjust on the fly because of your competitors. They're changing it up. You know, if we could have kept only 7, 8 cars on lead lap today, it would have been a whole lot easier. But when you have 25, 28 cars, it's a little bit more difficult.
Any other questions for Coach Gibbs, Kyle, or Dave? Got one right over here. Go ahead.
Yeah, Charlie Leffler, Mechanics for Local. Kyle, after having
From Kansas?
No, Mechanicsville.
Oh, okay,
Yeah.
sorry. I was like, what are you doing here? You're supposed to be in Kansas.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
After having the length of lead you had for as long as you had,
Yeah.
was it hard to keep your head in the game after falling back like you did? And would you have been able to do that a year or two ago?
For the old Kyle Busch, he would have folded. The new one, though, he stuck in there. He dug hard, so he kept going. I mean, it was difficult, but I just kept driving every lap with what I had. You know, that's all I ever do. It seems like every race so far this year we've had at least one run where we've fallen back. You know, Texas was a big one. We came out of the pits, I think 6th or something like that with a 3rd place car on the previous run and dropped all the way back to 22nd or 25th or something like that before we could come back to pit road and make an adjustment to get back going forward again. So, we faded a little bit and we just kept doing what we could do. You know, we were good on the front half of the run, which was good for us because we could make up a little bit of time there. But then after 80 laps, something like that, we'd start fading backwards, and you had to hang on at that point. It was about 35 laps or 30 laps before we were going to come in and pit, so it was just hold on, and everybody's so tight here and their lap times are so tight that it's hard to gain ground on anybody. But, I was behind my brother there late in the going, I think lap 300 to lap 350, and he was driving away from me, and I was like, man, I can't even run down a car that's a lap down. But, we just kept plugging along. There wasn't really anybody behind me. I think Juan Montoya caught me, and I let him go. A couple other lap cars that came in, got tires, I had to let him go. Just ran my own race, ran my own pace, and it paid dividends tonight.
Go ahead.
Can you comment on what Kyle was saying? New Kyle Busch, he does seem to be doing a better job of not kind of losing his head when things go against him this year.
Yeah, I would say really, I thought back to, I think one thing that's helped Kyle is winning that nationwide championship last year. And I think he had real patience there. There were days where, he had to take third, fourth. Of course, it's different over there because you're not racing, as many cars up front that really have a chance. And I think this year, had this been last year with 3 or 4 of the things that happened to us in some of the races this year, and particularly this one, I think you'd have probably seen a different reaction. So I appreciate the new Kyle. Now the question is what's coming in the future, what we got. One thing I did want to say is Richmond. I really appreciate coming back to Richmond. I feel great here. It's for me personally, it's Redskin territory, and I appreciate everybody here. And the other thing was Toyota. Didn't mention Toyota in our group here. They've been great partners and done a terrific job for us. And without their support and everything, there's no way we'd be sitting up here.
Let's go upstairs for a couple more questions. Go ahead.
This is Jay Pennell again. Kyle, could you just kind of talk about the new Kyle, old Kyle? What really made the difference over the last 2 years? Is it the championship? Yeah. Is it the owning a truck team? What is it that has really changed the way that you are behind the wheel and everything like that?
I think it's a lot of everything. To be honest with you, I think, shoot, man, I turn 25 tomorrow. I'm getting old. I mean, I feel that way anyway. But, it's got somewhat to do with the truck stuff. It's got somewhat to do with Samantha, of course. It's got a lot to do with Dave, with Dave coming on board. And I knew we weren't going to come out of the gate right away and win. And even though at Texas we should have, if it wasn't for not that much more gas, we probably could have. But I felt like there was some patience and felt like Dave needed some time to get going and get everything organized, to get the team behind him, and to get a lot of the things in the car that he wants in the car. So, I think it's just a patience thing. I've become a little bit more patient.
Final question. Go ahead.
Reed Spencer with Sporting News for Kyle. Kyle, the first 170 laps of this race you spent putting 3/4 of the field down a lap. Then in one fell swoop, 18 or 20 cars get their lap back. Are you, objectively speaking, are you a fan of a rule that allows that many cars to recover a lap like that?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's going to be one of these days where I'm going to be on that end of it, and I'm going to be grateful for it. So I don't have anything bad to say about it. It's just, it was kind of crazy that that it happened. I had never thought of that predicament at all with this rule, but, we just had pit stops, I don't know, 15 laps prior to that or something. So, you take a chance, and that's always a chance. That's another chance, if it was towards the end of the race, would guys have done that, or would they have come and gotten tires? Who knows? So I think to get back on the lead lap was big for a lot of people, and hoping for a short run to get a caution to come in, get their tires that they wanted. So it plays out. I'm sure I'll be the recipient of that somewhere down the road, and I'll be grateful for it then.
Okay, congratulations, Kyle, Dave, and Coach Gibbs, and good luck at Darlington.
Thanks.
And happy birthday in 10 minutes.